Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the District to be held at 105 Fort Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 13th day of July, 2016, at the hour of 6 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice has been posted at the office of the District on July 7, 2016, at 1:40 p.m. in accordance with the Texas Opens Meeting Act, and a copy has been furnished to the County Clerk in Cameron County, Texas. This meeting is called to order. There is a quorum, and the notice of the meeting has been duly posted as required by law. But everybody rise for the invocation and the pledge, please.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you again for another day. That you have given us an opportunity to meet and do district business. Lord God, help us understand, give us knowledge of all the items in the agenda, that we make the best decision that we can to move in the right direction. We just thank you again. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 3 is invitation to the audience for discussion. Let's move on to item 4. Consider and approve the minutes for the regular meeting of June 8, 2016. Motion by Mr. Wells. Second. Second by Mr. Freeman. Any questions, comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, General Manager's Report. Mr. Galvan.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I had reported previously on the last meeting that we had taken lead and copper samples, but that was in-house for Zaparel, and I mentioned that all the samples came out good. Now, this time we took 30 samples that were required by the state ECQ regulation, and that's for the other entities like Laguna Vista, Laguna Heights, and Port Isabel, and they all came out really low. So,
really?
Yeah, that way.
Even Port Isabel?
Even Port Isabel. All the samples came out on the low side, under the maximum contaminant level.
Well, I remember when we were spiking on zinc and copper, and that's come down.
That zinc and copper was on the wastewater.
That was on the wastewater
plant.
Right, that was the wastewater. They have more restrictions on the lead and copper of the wastewater than the drinking water.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about that at the staff meeting, you know, that the rules are more strict when you waste the water.
It didn't Flint. Than when you drink it.
Exactly.
It didn't Flint. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's all moved to Flint.
Anyhow, that's the way the state is, and we comply with all the requirements of the lead and copper.
Right. Good.
And I think the next sampling will be in 3 years.
Awesome.
That'll be it for mine.
All right. Let's move on to item 6, District Engineer's Report.
All right. Yeah, I guess the first item I was going to talk about is the wastewater treatment plant in the Port Isabel, and basically it's just kind of a recap of the master plan that we did with Carollo. It was completed back in December 2015, and just to kind of sort of maybe go through a reminder about the big picture of what we're trying to get through our wastewater plant and eventually direct potable reuse. And let's see if we jump over maybe to the I guess the main part is phase 1, which is already they're at 90% design as of yesterday. So we're on schedule with the sewer plant that Carollo's working on right now. And of course, in phase 1, we're doing the headworks, generation basins, and getting everything ready for the effluent quality. And then on phase 2, it's basically covering all the operation and maintenance issues, which is the stuff in blue on this exhibit. And so basically, if we look at phase 2, it's getting the sludge holding tanks. They're referring to as digesters. Sludge holding tanks is the more correct word. We also had a dewatering facility, which we dropped from the current scope, and then the drying beds that we dropped from the current scope as well. So basically, the trigger for going with phase 2 was the invitation that we got, for $5.8 million at very low interest with the Water Development Board. And so that's why we came back in January, made the engineering request, and it was known that $2 million would be the construction cost addition at the time that it got approved. And so basically, we're already at 90% complete with sludge holding tanks getting built. The splitter box is actually coming in, and then we'll convert those existing digesters to aeration with the plans that are currently funded and currently at 90% design. So I just kind of wanted to bring up that point And also, if you look at the master plan for phase 2, we had an estimate of $4.5 million, and with kind of making it a little leaner, like dropping the dewatering facility and the drying beds, we cut it down to $2 million. So, and then I don't anticipate us needing the belt filter press or these sludge drying beds in the future. We're pretty much getting phase 2 covered with this improvement that we're doing. So I mean, we're capturing, and then we're also getting it prepared for our expansion to be cheaper down the road. Because with this aeration in place, you know, we're not putting in the blowers for 2 MGD, but we're putting in the concrete and diffusers, the air piping getting in for 2 MGD. So we're really making our expansion cheaper down the road by doing what we're doing today.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of really why I wanted to put this on the engineer's report, just to understand, you know, sort of where we're at. Because the sludge holding tanks themselves, I mean, being that they're already designed, like for whatever reason, if we're looking at 2 construction contracts. One is, you know, the original phase 1. 1B is the sludge holding tanks. And so for whatever reason we don't do a construction award on the sludge holding tanks, I mean, that's going to move blowers, move piping, it's going to cause delay changes or changes in the design that'll be some major delays that we have
You're
to
really
address.
pumping us for them now tanks, aren't you?
Yes.
And you're
really
but
pumping
you're
us.
saying in phase 2 we would, if we put those sludge holding tanks in, we can eliminate some things in phase 2. Is that what you're saying?
Well, we're doing phase 2 today, basically.
Basically.
Is what's happening.
We're already taking care of
And
that.
What's
the
wrong with
whole-
our existing drying beds? Excuse me, sir.
Right. Our
Yes, sir.
existing drying beds, I mean, it's more the aeration volume that we don't have, because we have excess drying beds. That's why we can take drying beds out of service, and we still got plenty to use. So we don't need to build those new drying beds, because we just don't need them. And with the monofill eventually coming online, or we just keep hauling, out to La Gloria, we don't really need the dewater either. But we do need that storage for the sludge holding. And also, we're we sort of rigged our own system, but it could be much more efficient with a proper setup that we just have never had. So I mean, that's kind of something we're really, I just kind of need to stress the importance, because with all these...
For $2 million, 2.2.
Yes. I mean, you get into like air exchange and all these details if you want to dive into more science behind it, but I mean, it really is a needed improvement that we have the opportunity and funding to do right now. So that's kind of, where we're at.
On your cover page here, you had, one paragraph with the phase 1, 7.9, but it's actually, that was the estimated original cost. I mean, we're looking at probably closer to 10 though, aren't we?
Right. Well, the $10 million is going to be the 7.9 in phase 1, and then the $2 million in phase 2.
Right, so it'll be closer to 10. Now,
Right.
phase 2 on your cover page, you show about $4.5 million. Is that still what you're thinking, or?
Well, our current estimate, the $4.5 million,
Yeah.
it's the $2 million addition that was presented in January. It's one and the same.
Okay, so that would be dropped down to $2 million.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then the phase 3 is, you're estimating about 2.6.
And that would remain unchanged, which we pull the trigger when we're at 90% capacity.
Yeah, and that could be, who knows when.
Within 5-10 years.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to have an issue at either Laguna Vista or Fort Isabel. And back when we did the model with CDM Smith, we were thinking expansions were going to be in Laguna Vista. And now that we have a master plan here, we can move that expansion over here and not have to expand Laguna Vista. We can just do it here instead.
I got you. Now, none of this includes the reclamation, though.
Well,
The phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, we're still not showing the reclamation portion, are we?
like as far as grant potential?
Yeah.
No, we'd have to apply. I mean, we basically didn't, the energy inefficiency grant we applied for, they made their award announcements in June. We didn't make the funding line. We didn't make fund line for green money, and we didn't get any disadvantaged money either. So we just didn't make the cut for any of that grant money for this phase award. But we'll have much better chances in the advanced water treatment. When we do direct cold brew reuse, I mean, we're going to be able to have the rating points for water savings that we can't get under our current phase. So I mean, we're going to rank much higher when we do the future phase.
Okay. Very good.
So that's basically where we're at. And then, let's see, I think the other part was moving on to the advanced treatment. Just a reminder again, if we go to the next exhibit, Daisy. Let me scroll down. So, of course, this is our location for the direct potable reuse plant, water plant 2. And so that's still a fourth phase that's entirely separate of the three phases on the sewer plant. And that's the $7 million addition that we can get to when it's funded. So that's an entirely different animal. And when this is online, that's when we're truly, supplementing our augmenting our surface water. So, I mean, if we stay on track, this could be in 2020, 2021, but we'd have to do a tax bond or something to fund it. So that's kind of where we're sitting.
We don't run out of money or die for.
All right. And so I guess the next item, if we just scroll down to the next page, from June 14th, we had that loan commitment approval. And so I just included the official letter that the Water Development Board had sent over to us. So if you scroll down to the schedule, I mean, these are basically our items that we got to be working on between now, and we're probably looking at closing in November. So how long it'll take to get through this whole process. So I spoke to our bond counsel this morning, and we're looking at sending out that draft of the bond ordinance to Water Development Board on Tuesday next week, and then we'll just keep that process going to close in November. So that's basically where we're sitting on it. And that wraps up the engineer's report.
All right, questions, comments?
That gets with revenue money?
Yep.
Including the home increase, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing on that one is that supposedly it's gonna get paid with revenue money. Since we don't have the extra funding, available, that means that we need to look at the rates, for next year.
Or cut expenses.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, number 7, Director of Operations report, Mr. Valdez.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I was out last meeting in June, so just to recap on the meter testing that we had, May and June combined, we had 40 tested meters, and we swapped out 13 of them. And there's also about 8 that are getting spliced and metered. We had 14 water taps between May and June, and 5 sewer taps. Also in the same time frame, we looped a 2-inch water line over behind Morris Street in Laguna Vista to eliminate a dead end line that we had there. TCQ rules require us, if there's a dead end line that we need a flush, so we ended up looping it instead. That way we don't have to worry about that. The mesquite water line that they had going on, it's already active. It's going. There's already about 20 some houses that are connected to the new line. There's still about 45 more, but in between other water leaks, they're going back and forth, just taking care of those. It's taking them a little longer because they're on the old line. They're going all the way down to the brass where the connection was. They're taking all that brass out. They got to dig down and take it out and then fill it back up. So it's taking them a little bit longer to do. And then also in the for the sewer side, I'm going to talk about it now, but we have another agenda item. But we do have a break in our 16-inch sewer line. That's right here in front of the highway, right here on the Traveler Trailer Park. We did video the line, and Mr. Thomas was here this morning just to look at the video with us, or with me, just so I can show him over what we saw, what we found. And by the looks of it right now, the whole line looks good. We videoed east to west, manhole to manhole, and then we videoed north to south, crossing the highway, manhole to manhole, and the line looks great. It's only that point repair. So we'll end up doing that in-house. We'll dig down, put a trench box, and just repair what we have to repair. By the looks of it, it looks like it's just the crown connect from one pipe to another. Somehow or another, the side of it caved in or something. So we'll get that going as soon as we can.
Well, where's that manhole cover load? Where's that at?
Oh, it's in between right here, the trailer park on Highway 100, the Travelers Trailer Park.
Across from
Across Hino Gas?
Across Hino?
Okay. Right next to that Sierra RV Mobile.
Right.
It's a stretch from there to there.
Right.
And we'll get that fixed in-house. We won't have to go out for anything.
Okay.
And then also on the we did start a construction crew. We have a crew of 5. It's 1 manager and 4 employees. And we got the employees kind of from the water plant, sewer plants, and lift stations, and we made some. We're making some changes, but the official with the budgetary numbers and everything, I want to wait till October, so we can put it with the new department and show it on the organizational chart the way it's going to be. But for right now, it'll be a trial basis. I want to make sure it's going to work before I do something, make the changes official.
Mhm.
So and so far, everybody seems like they're on with it. They're doing their job. I think the first job I told them I want to take care of was trying to help Charles with those gates over at Isla Blanca, trying to see if we can get that going. So
Yeah.
and that's all.
That'd be good.
That's all I have.
Any questions, comments? Item 8, Director of Finance report, San Juana.
Hi. On the first item that I have, I received an invitation from IBC to participate in a fundraising that they have with the MD Anderson Cancer Research Center. And since I told them that we couldn't participate as a Laguna Madre Water District, we couldn't provide any funding, what I was thinking in doing, it's an employees fundraising. And as you know, we just lost one of our employees, with this disease, and basically everybody, either we know someone or we have lost one of our own, with this horrible disease. So what they're trying to do is they're asking the community for any amount, and they will be matching the amount for the MD Research Center. And of course, it will be completely voluntarily. And that's something that I kind of spoke to the managers, and they are interested in doing it. That's when, I wanted to bring it up. And of course, if you'd like to pitch in, you're welcome to it.
Who's matching? Who's matching it?
IBC.
Oh,
IBC, yes. Dollar by dollar, they will be matching the amount. And for example, our contact with IBC, she just lost her father for kidney disease, kidney cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's something that, wanted to mention. And also, on the insurance reimbursements, wanted to let you know that we got $23,000, kind of extra, extra revenue for different reimbursements on claims. So far, TML has been very good providing us with the claims. I don't know if you remember that in the past we have mentioned, we're going to do this claim, this and that. So everything is going pretty well. I mean, so far we don't have anything pending, so we're good. And on the health insurance for 2017, we can do bids, or we can do just propose the renewal. Basically, we've been revising our policy, and what we have, it's sort of good, for what we're paying, and since I don't think that we want to increase any of our contributions, I would recommend, to keep it, to stay with what we have. And one of the good benefits that they offer us is, for example, emergencies. It's 100% covered. You just have to pay the $75 copay. I mean, it's pretty good. And also they offer additional services, financial services, legal services, counseling, and stuff like that. So I believe it's a good service. And then on the windstorm and health insurance, what I have is that we just got $8,000, $8,500 reduced for next fiscal year. So basically, we're gonna get a little bit less coverage on some of the areas, because some of the buildings were really old. But that means that next year we're getting a reduction, on our budget need. And then on the election status, basically the only thing that I have is that I've been checking the Texas Secretaries of State's website just to confirm that we're kind of updated with our calendars, and we don't have anything pending on our compliance. Everything is good, and I also confirmed with Mr. Lucio that the calendar is not out just yet. So as soon as we have it, we're gonna, pass along the calendar to you guys, and so we can start working on that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I mean, we don't have filing dates yet, or what do you?
No. So far, we're not gonna have anything until July 23rd.
Okay.
But so far, no one has applied or anything like that. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments? Item 9, consider and approve appointment to the Board of Directors vacancy. We have any nominations or motions?
I'd like to nominate Doyle Wells III.
We have a motion to nominate Doyle Wells III. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Mr. Wells is now appointed to the board. Thank you, Mr. Wells. Oh, he's not here. All right. All right. What?
I told him you ought to sit right there and stare at you, like that, kinda like
We have an
that.
agenda item next meeting for the old.
For the swearing in? All right, very good. All right, Mr. Wells, congratulations. Very good. Item 10, and you guys are not related, right?
No.
Okay.
No, but I did spend 4 years on the board with him, and he is,
All right.
checks things, he is a good guy to have on the board.
Well, we got the Wells twins on
There you
there.
go.
What this? All right, number 10, consider and ratify CLS equipment repairs to the VACON truck unit 21.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, consider and approve emergency repairs to 16-inch sewer lines located in Port Isabel. We're going to not take any action on that. We're going to do the repairs in-house.
In-house.
Very good.
I have a question. We have to remove the sidewalk to do that?
Yep.
Pull the
more
sidewalk, dig
more
down,
than likely
patch it up,
we-
put it
yeah.
back
I
in?
told Victor to tell the guys to tunnel under it.
But we
More than
don't have
likely-
to cut up any street?
No, we
Just the
shouldn't.
sidewalk.
Hopefully we shouldn't have to, we're gonna be putting a trench box, so that's gonna take out some of the sidewalk on there.
Is there a way for people coming down through to go around, like take the fence down or something, or
Yeah, we'll figure out
figure something out?
yeah, we'll put
That's
some
a good
poles or
idea.
something. just
Because
so we can-
that's a main walkway.
That is.
Well, tough, too bad.
Yeah.
All right. Number 12, consider an approval to instruct legal counsel to prepare and file both water and sewer CCN applications for Laguna Madre Water District. Bless you. Have a motion, please? This is an annual thing, Charles?
No, actually, we don't have, a certificate of convenience and necessity is issued by the Public Utility Commission.
Okay.
And we've never applied for CCNs.
Okay.
As a district, we're not required to even have them. But basically, once you establish a CCN, it's like having a monopoly for the water or sewer service in whatever area.
All right, let's do it.
And also help you for future
That's why I
grants.
didn't say
Why?
that.
What's this gonna
It's a
cost us?
certificate of convenience and necessity.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to expand on.
Well, what happened is that every time that someone and a utility has that certificate, it kind of like give you more, it kind of like opens doors for grants in any type of funding. You know, it helps a lot, you know, because that means that they have already received some certain of evaluations, you know, to be eligible to have that application.
Mr. Thomas has a question about the
What,
finance.
well, is this gonna cost us?
Well, we're gonna do it in-house. I did get a proposal from Black and Beach that I'm not even gonna bring to the board for consideration because it was for $160,000.
150.
But we're gonna do it in-house, and that effort will be done between me and our attorney. But I don't know what the attorney's.
What's he gonna charge us?
Well, he needs authorization to, I don't know what his fee is. I don't know, like, this was actually initiated from our attorney's request, just to have the authority for him to work on it.
He serves with energy and
Make a
water
motion to
in the
table
state.
that till we get a little more information.
Was that
Right.
Eddie there? Yeah, he knows a lot.
But the thing is, a lot of that,
Got a motion on the floor.
well, I mean, that Black and Beach effort was mainly the engineering side, which I'd be doing. I'm like for CCN applications, you have to demonstrate that you have the ability to serve the area that you're designated.
Well, let's, Mr. Thomas has a motion on the table, let's, you know, and I kind of concur with that until we have our counsel here and he can explain why he's requesting this.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Friedman to table this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, consider and approve pre- and post-construction surveys for nationwide permit verification compliance with Port Isabel wastewater plant outfall relocations. Did y'all read that in your packet?
Well, I thought we already had that pretty well covered.
Well, this is a requirement, now that we have the core permit or the verification approved, we have to demonstrate that we're not damaging wetlands. So we do a survey of the pipeline alignment before construction, and then we go and do a survey after construction to show that the vegetation came back. When we did the same thing at Cuates Pump Station, when we built the Cuates pipeline, we had to do the same thing where we cross wetlands, and so this is to meet the core requirement, so we avoid mitigation for when we build this pipeline going to the bay or to the side channel from the sewer plant.
We're going to do the surveys ourselves, or?
Well, it's Ambutech. They're the environmental firm that's qualified to perform the work. It's for an amount of $6,250.
Well, everybody's got their fingers in their pocket.
Yes, sir. All right, so we get a motion, please?
Is this something we need to do, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Wells,
Second.
second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye, aye,
Motion
aye.
carries.
Mhm.
Another $6,250.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. All right, item 14 is consider and approve the financial statements for the month of 2016.
Just wanted to let you know that on May, it looked kind of like not so good, but June should be looking way better because, like, for example, the revenues for the month, it's going to be 950,000, and it's like around close to 70,000 more than previous year. So it's going to pick up, starting
Close to
next month.
70,000?
70,000
More.
more than what we got, in June last year.
Well, that's a-
Well, you got to remember, we raised rates.
Yes,
rates
yes,
twice.
but we also have a little more consumption, so which is good,
Well, that's at my
the
house,
island
right.
was full, so, that's
I
gonna
let
help
the hose
us.
run all night long.
Yes.
Well, it's quit raining too, man, that's the deal.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, yeah, like I said, May is not looking really good, but, she'll pick up in the next,
Well, I was looking at the cover sheet for that general fund in May, the first page there. It shows that we had we're excess revenue over expenditures 378, correct? 378,000,
Yes,
is that correct? So, and a lot of that excess money is from the rate increases, and it's been going to our capital
yes,
projects, correct?
capital, correct.
So, the next line item though is total encumbered, so that's money we owe, is that correct?
We owe,
We owe,
yeah,
so we
we
owe
are
700.
committed.
Yeah, we owe 749,
Mhm.
so that wipes out that 378.
Right.
But, so that leaves that 371
We're still
on the
good.
end.
Mhm,
So
yes,
we're still,
yes.
Eking along.
Looks like we're holding our own.
we're holding our own, yeah,
That's what it
exactly,
looks like to me, too.
yeah. But we're
Yeah,
coming up
if
to,
we've been-
we're coming up to June, July, and August, which is gonna be
Yes.
our heavy consumption
Yeah,
months.
next month, like for example, on time frame, on the percentage on the top, it's gonna look like 75, and then on the revenues, it's gonna pick up from 61 to 72. So it's getting pretty close to what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right, very good. So we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells. Second by Mr. Freeman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 15 is consider and approve a resolution adopting a revised plan, section 1402 on the personnel policy for the Laguna Madre Water District, resolution number 135-07-16. My only question is this not something we offered in the first place, that the health insurance takes place day one?
What happened is that in our policy, it states that it's going to be on the 30th date of employment. And I don't know why, but it's been stated like that in our policy. However, in practice,
We've been doing it on the
we've
first
been doing
day.
it on the first. And on the previous bid from 2014, I checked, and it was quoted or, budgeted as the first day.
Okay,
So we just want to make it, where it's parallel to what we're doing.
what we're doing. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Wells. Second by Mr. Freeman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 16 is consider and approve disbursements.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Mr. Wells. I do have some questions on those though.
Absolutely.
On the first page 4, because there's like two sets, right? Because we didn't have the meeting, and so there's two
Yes.
sets. So that first page 4, there was Estrada and Hinojosa 10,000. Was that for?
Yeah, that's the financial fee, right.
That's their financial fee, their
Yep.
yearly fee?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also on that page, I'm trying to find it here in this. There was a check for $4,150 to Innozy. Innovize.
That's our water and sewer model, the annual license.
Annual license for water and sewer models. Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
No, we pay that every July.
Every July, all right, water and sewer models. And then on the second group on the second set, on page 5, there was a Archer or Arch computer service, $1,061.
That's our printer service, yes.
That's our
the
printer
contract
service?
agreement, yes.
And how often do we pay that?
On a monthly basis.
Wow, $1,000 on a monthly for printing.
For printers,
I sent that Dayhill guy over here, he said he'd get us a deal.
That's $12,000 a year we pay for printing service?
We'll be
Yes.
looking into that one, when we start bidding out, keeping
Yeah.
up with the agreement.
Remember you and I was bitching about that?
Right.
Oh, I was thinking about working with.
Were you?
Yeah.
We took him in at the office over there, and I just can't believe how cheap they are, and it works. It's cheaper than keeping our own equipment, I mean, dirt cheap. It's called Dayhill.
Well,
I
that's-
sent him over in 60 Monte Carlo, so I didn't know what was up.
All right, let's,
He's gonna come back.
Oh, is it?
Again.
all right, when is this guy's expired?
next year,
Expires next year? All right.
yeah. At the
We'll
end
beat
of
you up on it
next
next
year.
year too.
All right, we'll be raising that issue next year, please.
Yeah.
You're right.
You remember me?
Yeah, I do. All right.
So don't throw me nothing.
I know.
They pay the toll.
And then on the second page 7,
That's what they'll be buying.
there was a $19,980 for C.G. Miller Truck Facility.
That's our bus barn.
Is that our bus barn?
Yes, that's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
that's the new.
Was that an advance or
That's
what
an
is that?
advance, yes.
Material.
Yes.
Material advance?
Material
All right.
advance.
Just check. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Minnie, you have any comments? Okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. Item 17, executive session permitted by the Open Meeting Act, VTCA Government Code, Section 551.001, under Section 551.071, consultation with attorneys, Section 551.072, deliberation about real property, authorize district engineer to negotiate land purchase with IBC Bank for the proposed sludge basin at water plant number 2. Can we have a motion to go into executive session and then a break?
After the break.
All right.
Motion to go into executive.
We have a motion to go into executive session at 6:35. We have a second, please? Second by Mr. Wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. If I made a motion to come out of executive session at 6:55 p.m.
So did.
Motion by Mr. Friedman, second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Item 18 is consideration and any action on executive session items if necessary. We need to get a motion to authorize the district engineer to negotiate land purchase with IBC Bank for the proposed sludge basin at water plant number 2, within the parameters we discussed in executive session. Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Friedman.
Question, want to amend this motion to where his signature is not binding. He brings us the numbers back, that's all. It comes back with the
Can we
board.
authorize him up to a point?
No, we make the final decisions, yeah. So,
If we have to have a special meeting, we'll have a special
is that okay
meeting.
with y'all? Amend the motion?
Let him go out and find out,
All right.
find out how, let him find out how bad it's gonna be, and then if...
Yeah, he'll get back with us.
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor say aye with
Aye.
the amended motion.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Be it that there's no further business of the agenda below.
Well,
Item,
we've got to vote on the 20 grand.
Yep, we did.
no, that's gonna be a separate, next week. Item 19 is motion to adjourn.
So moved.